Broncos added some high-profile offensive weapons this offseason, but maybe the biggest move came back in January, making the move for offensive coordinator Pat Shurmur. Hello, and thank you for joining us here on our Countdown to Camp series. I'm Phil Maloney alongside Sidney Jones and Eric Dalala. Our question today, what will this offense look like under Pat Shurmur? Sidney, let's start with you.
I think the biggest difference that we're going to see under Pat Shurmur is a more aggressive offense. And I know that sounds kind of vague, but Vic Fangio said it when they made the coaching change at the beginning of the year, that he wants to be more aggressive. And that's coming from a defensive head coach. And that's exactly what they're going to get with Shurmur, is a more aggressive offense. I mean, I think one of the things that Shurmur said was at the top of his list is he wants to start with down the field passing. Last year, the Broncos had just, I think, 19 or just shy of 20 pass plays of at least 30 yards, and that's tied for 17th in the league. When Shurmur was hired, he said how important it was to him to attack the defense down the field. And I mean, challenging a defense down the field is how you get more points, and it's how you move the ball. So I think that's probably going to be one of the biggest differences we see with this offense this year.
And when Shurmur was hired, he's admitted, hey, this offense did a couple of good things last year. I'm going to continue those, but maybe add in a little bit of his own flavor. What do you think that means, Eric?
Well, I think you're going to see more play action. I think the screen game could be used a little bit. I do think it'll be run heavy in some ways. You're going to go to some of these 3 wide receiver sets where you can have Courtland Sutton on the field with Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler. And what that brings, Phil, I think, is some stability, because in each of the last 6 seasons that Shurmur was either the offensive coordinator or the head coach, his team ranked in the top 20 in scoring in the league. And, that might not seem like a super high baseline, but the Broncos haven't done that since 2015. And obviously we're way down at 28 last year. So even getting the offense back to average, I think would help this team get to that 9-10 win mark. Hopefully they can do more than that, because Shurmur achieved all that without ever having a Pro Bowler at quarterback. So if Drew Lock takes the step forward, get some of those aggressive plays in there, I think this offense could score some points.
Yeah, the last couple of years in New York, the Giants averaged just over 20 points a game. And some similarities there, because last year Shurmur was working with Daniel Jones, a rookie quarterback, and now he gets to work with Drew Lock. Sidney, he mentioned that he was high on Drew Lock coming out of school.
Yeah, and when Shurmur was hired, he said exactly what you said. He spoke really highly of Drew Lock, because obviously the Giants, they were in the market for a quarterback last year, drafted Daniel Jones, who had a great rookie season under Shurmur as head coach. So I think this year we're going to see a ton of development in Lock, which, I mean, is going to be critical for the Broncos offense.
And of course, Shurmur worked a long time with Andy Reid, one of the top offensive minds in the NFL. Eric, you think that this Broncos offense will look something like the Chiefs?
Hey, I hope so. That'd be nice, huh?
Would like that.
He's kind of involved some different elements. He's got the West Coast style from Andy Reid. He's got the vertical passing game from Norv Turner. He does even have some of those hurry-up elements from when he worked with Chip Kelly. And so I think kind of blending all of those things together, you get the best of all those worlds. Hopefully that results in more points, because it doesn't necessarily matter, these yards, these chunk plays, if you cannot score. And we've seen that over the last few years, Phil, but the Broncos just have to find a way to get that done if they're going to win these football games, if they're not going to put pressure on their defense, and that makes the whole team better. Exactly.
Simply put, Shurmur said, we're going to do whatever our players are good at. We're going to emphasize that. So I expect a lot more shots down the field with Courtland Sutton, and with the speed that they've added with Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler, we expect a lot of that too. So our Countdown series continues tomorrow. Until then, for Sidney Jones and Eric Dalala, I'm Phil Maloney.